Hello people of the internet, this is Shaky Jake, and I really need a catchphrase. You are watching Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 The Sith Lords with the restored content modification, where previously on KotOR 2 we spent the entire episode inside the Ebon Hawk talking to our party members, and two of them became Force users. So they could become Jedi or Dark Jedi, but the chances are they're going to end up being more Jedi based than Dark Jedi based. And that's awesome because this game allows you to convert several party members into Force users, unlike the first game. And you'll notice that T3M4 here has been restored to his usual KotOR 2 luck, because I was getting a bit fed up with the R2-D2 conversion skin, so I removed that earlier today. And I've decided where I'm going to go for my next planet, because it took me a while to consider where I was going to go. And I've decided to go to Nar Shaddaa, because whilst I would rather go to Onderon for a few narrative reasons, I'm going to go to Nar Shaddaa just because it's more beneficial from a gameplay perspective. So we're going to go to Nar Shaddaa, and those of you that have played the Jedi Knight series will know that Nar Shaddaa was a very frequent planet in that series. And frankly, it looks a lot better in the Jedi Knight games because the engine that the Jedi Knight games used were more appropriately designed for Nar Shaddaa compared to the Odyssey engine for KotOR 2. But anyway, we're going to head to Nar Shaddaa, so let's go. So we're leaving Dantooine, finally. Which is now at peace, because Dantooine kind of needs a break after the war that happened. And plus, Atton wants to go to Nar Shaddaa. How can I deny Atton?
Well, here we are, the Smuggler's Moon. It's the gaping maw of Nar Shaddaa, swallowing all the cargo and spaceport thugs the galaxy has to offer. Mandalorians, mercenaries, war veterans, and pilots from the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War ended up on Nar Shaddaa, from all sides of the conflict. When the last war ended, there was no place left for them to go. Nar Shaddaa's a rough place and easy to get lost in. Or for someone to get lost. If we wanted to keep out of sight from the Sith for a while, you couldn't pick a better spot.
What's now Hutta?
It means glorious jewel in Huttese, but don't let that fool you. It's the central breeding grounds of the Hutts. Nar Shaddaa orbits it. Nal Hutta's as slimy as the Hutts. Lots of swamp and bloated gas. It's where those slugs reach out and grab chunks of the galaxy. Trust me, we're not going to go anywhere near the place unless we want to be washing the stink out of our clothes for the next few years.
That bad? I didn't think anything could compel you to bathe.
You spend all day thinking up that joke? Maybe you and Beodur should start a circus.
I fail to understand the reference, though I doubt your explanation would prove worthwhile.
Oh, the banter between these guys. Beautiful. So there's a lot of ex-soldiers on Nar Shaddaa?
Yeah. Some came looking for work running freight and cargo. Still, there's only so many ships to go around and so many workers. So others lend their weapons to the Hutts in the exchange. It's become a prime base for raider recruitment across the galaxy.
How hard would it be to find a Jedi here?
It won't be easy. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa. Finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in. Or find you once you arrive.
You sound like you've been here before.
Anyone flying the Star Lanes has docked on Nar Shaddaa at least once. I wouldn't want to live there, and I doubt anyone does by choice.
So what's the refugee sector?
Not everyone who came to Nar Shaddaa were soldiers. A lot of worlds were destroyed by the Mandalorians, and the Jedi. Left a lot of people wandering the galaxy.
How hard will it be to hide here?
Shouldn't be too hard. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa, finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector.
Yeah, you've already told me that. Then let's take the Ebon Hawk in for a landing.
I've plotted a course for the refugee sector, and we should touch down within the hour. Once we're down, we should finally be able to breathe easy. There's no way anyone's going to find us here.
Hint, hint. And there's Nar Shaddaa. That looks suspiciously like the moon in real life. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised to see how Nar Shaddaa looks in my game now compared to the vanilla release, thanks to the power of mods. Seriously, Nar Shaddaa looks so much better with the mods I've downloaded. It almost looks as good as this cutscene. And here's a new cutscene made specifically for the restored content mod. This wasn't in the original game, and it was a very good cutscene. A very good establishing cutscene for this. Oh, there's the HK50s again.
Perhaps you have heard that the Jedi comes to Nar Shaddaa. While he walks upon the Smuggler's moon, he is not to be harmed. You may watch him, observe his movements, but nothing more.
Can you turn down the brightness settings on your hologram thing, or the stuff projecting the hologram? It's actually blinding me.
Because one Jedi attracts others. It is the way of things.
Bomababe want to susintu mukarata. To esfrektonatada bear mabarchokto.
So in case you haven't figured it out, this is the Star Wars Mafia.
Panisukakran, Jokamata, Storshban Locha. Joanna Masaranka ma Ramazurata. Keso Juskrita Lorsa. Yumacha Foeko Mikojira.
Oh, there's a Wookiee who sounds exactly like the Wookiees from the first KotOR. And yeah, I'm not actually skipping this dialogue because it's quite interesting to listen to.
Request. If Goto's vessel is no longer neutral ground, inform us so that we might initiate assassination protocols and commence firing at once.
The Upobotenyo go Jucho Picha, Gwentaba ni Sochu, Norotoga Proto Lalashishi, Jubadosa Jibacha, Ratakmansan, Dokosha na Chitola.
It's interesting how these Twi'leks sound a bit more central than most Twi'leks in these games. It's almost like they're trying to turn on certain people.
Observation. Jedi follow the self-destructive path of pacifism and tolerance. They will not attack first.
That's the complete opposite of those things. Self-destruction through pacifism. Great. Okay, so basically our party's under threat, not necessarily me.
Ah, the beautiful stench and decay of desperate living.
This moon, it teems with life. It is difficult to center oneself.
Never have I been to a place so alive with the Force, yet so dead to it. The contrast is like a blade.
Welcome to Nar Shaddaa. Towering buildings kilometers high and miles deep, with canyons so wide you could have a dogfight in them. Word of warning, watch where you step, or you'll fall for hours.
Oh, I can imagine. And that establishing shot is one of my favourite establishing shots in this game. Are we going to be okay on this landing pad?
Sure. Most of the landing pads around here are unclaimed, or should be. They're pretty badly maintained, so they're not safe to land on. Well, I mean, not this one. But they all have the reputation, so we should be alright. I think.
The Ebon Hawk looks a little exposed.
Maybe a little, but landing here means we didn't have to transmit our ID signature. You know what trouble that always brings. In fact, while we're here, we should get those signatures changed. Wouldn't make us such a target when we enter a new system.
Any problems with the docking authorities?
No, but I forgot to tell them we were landing.
Typical.
The refugee sector's a dead zone. No one cares too much who flies in and out of here as long as they're not carrying cargo that the Exchange or the Hutts might want a piece of.
Is this the refugee sector?
Yeah, in all its glory. Don't get your hopes up from what you see here, though. As soon as we hit the main sector, that's when the smell and the mobs can get pretty bad.
Then let's move on.
Alright then, let's move out. Where are we headed exactly?
It does not matter where we go. If what we seek is here, we shall come upon it in due time.
Yeah, if you want to stay on the ship and meditate some more, don't let us stop you.
Right. So we have a number of dialogue options here, and I'm going to try and pick all of them. And I'm being blown away by how amazing Nar Shaddaa looks with these mods I've downloaded. Honestly, it looks so much better than the original game. Even though this was my favourite planet in this particular game, but it looked dreadful in the original release. I'm just looking for a place to lay low.
Then just being here should be enough. People in the refugee sector don't tend to ask too many questions. We should be safe enough.
I wouldn't mind getting some new equipment.
There should be a central trading hub up ahead. Their stock's probably not the best, but they may have some things worthwhile.
I also love how all of our crew are just standing outside the Ebon Hawk. I want to find out more about this bounty on Jedi.
Well, that means finding either a bounty hunter, a ranking member of the Exchange, or someone willing to talk, none of which are too appealing. Bounty hunters in the Exchange are going to want to shoot you, and someone who is willing to talk to anyone, which means trouble.
The bounty is a waste of our efforts. All that matters is the Jedi. The intentions of the thugs of this moon are of no consequence.
This bounty poses a threat to him. We do not need two beasts at our back when the Sith are enough.
I agree. They are nothing more than a distraction. But even a distraction may prove fatal at a critical moment. We must protect him.
I do not wish your support, Dark Jedi. Your words only undermine my arguments.
If you are so certain of your path, then do what you will, servant of Atris. It makes no difference.
It's up to you. There's bound to be someone in the sector willing to spill their guts for a credit or two.
There's the rivalry between the Handmaiden and Visas. Curiously, because I'm a male exile, none of the Atton and Disciple interplay seems to be occurring, which makes sense given that most of their stuff hasn't triggered on the Ebon Hawk, but it's interesting. I imagine the same would happen if you were a female exile with the Handmaiden and Visas, but all the Atton and Disciple stuff would still happen. If Zez Kayao is here, I want to find him.
Finding a Jedi, or anyone else touched by the Force here, will be difficult. The mass of people, the rush of their emotions, it makes detection difficult.
The moon is a swarming cloak, a shadow of emotions. It is an effective shield, but if we come near the Jedi, I may be able to see him.
You will not come near the Jedi. I will not allow it.
You mistake my intentions. I care nothing for this Jedi. But if finding him will speed our journey, then I will aid you in your search.
We do not need your assistance, Dark Jedi.
Enough. This moon does not get any smaller while we debate. This sector is as good as any place to begin our search, so let us begin.
Well, if we're gonna search a moon of a few billion inhabitants for one Jedi that even our own can't sense, might as well start as soon as possible.
Let's see where our path takes us.
Alright, if you have any questions, just ask. We should be able to leave the ship here as long as we want. No one supervises these landing pads anymore.
You there!
You were saying?
Uh-oh.
What's with you? Letting that piece of junk sink its struts into my landing pad!
Hey! What's with the accent? You were saying, Atton? And, well, it sort of didn't work for Watto in The Phantom Menace, so I might as well try it. I think it'll be fine where it is.
It'll be fine where it is. Yeah, I guess you're right. And by right, I mean you're wrong. Telling me it'll be fine where it is. What, you think I'm stupid? I got another ship coming in, and unless you want that piece of junk's hull crushed flat, you better move it. Got it?
Whoa, the Ebon Hawk is amazing. What are you talking about? What of a ship?
That's none of your business. All you need to know is that they're gonna be firing up their quad lasers if they find your ship squatting there when they arrive.
It's a landing pad. Ships land on it.
No. Really? Thanks for the insight. And here I was, thinking you were a smart human. Now, either get that piece of junk off my piece of junk, or you're going for a 2-kilometer walk to the ground.
I do like that Obsidian made the Exile a lot more willing to be witty compared to what BioWare did in the first KotOR. It was actually somewhat rare in that game. Junk. You're lucky my ship's gracing your trash heap.
Huh? My trash heap? Fine, land there. My trash heap's all that's keeping your ship from making the final plunge. And trust me, it won't be long in coming, I promise you. I got some visitors booked for your space, but I'm sure the two of you can work it out when they arrive.
Foreshadowing. Considering we're on Nar Shaddaa, and considering Atton has a lot of things to say here, it only makes sense to take Atton with me, and I will take KotOR. I will switch it to the Handmaiden later, but yeah, I always keep Atton with me on Nar Shaddaa just because it makes sense, and this is the planet we're going to use him the most. So, Atton needs levelling up, which I'm sure anyone who's played this game before is cringing right now that I'm levelling him up, but I have reasons for why. So, I'm going to improve his strength, actually, because... No, do I want to improve his strength? I mean, dexterity's good. Constitution. He needs to be less fragile. So we'll improve all his usual skills. Sneak attack is what's important for me here. So I'm going to see when the next sneak attack finishes leveling up, and then I'll stop there. And we also want to start training Atton in using swords, because that would be important. There we go, sneak attack 8. I forgot how Roman numerals worked for a second there. But yeah, there we go, so that's the last time we need sneak attack. Right, I'll leave a level there, because I don't want to upgrade him anymore for various reasons. But there we go. So let's take a look at Nar Shaddaa and how it looks with mods. Normally, if you were to play this game with the vanilla release, Nar Shaddaa's backdrop does not look as impressive as this. Because the Odyssey engine isn't quite catered for getting the scope of Nar Shaddaa across, it actually looked pretty bad. And this was all a really badly formed bitmap that didn't look particularly impressive, and it was blurry and pixelated, and it's actually one of the most offending skyboxes in either KotOR game. But with this mod here, this very talented person presumably went into 3ds Max or Blender and modelled some actual buildings, textured them, and then inserted them into the actual engine, and it looks amazing. I doubt this could have been achieved as well as this in the original release for this game, but here it looks fantastic, and on a game that's now 14-15 years old, it looks incredible. And then I've also got a HD texture mod, which makes Nar Shaddaa look a little bit cleaner than it ought to, because normally this looks a lot dirty, and I think the HD texture mod has somewhat taken away from that slightly, but it still looks really good. And what do we have here? Exchange thugs, and this doesn't look very nice, so let's see what's going on. Atton doesn't have a weapon, which is a bit of a problem. Let's give you something. We'll give you dual blasters, even though you're not suited to that whatsoever. And then as a backup, we'll give you the Vibra Sword. KotOR can stick with not having anything, except he does need shields. Actually, I don't want you having the good shields, you can have the terrible one. The good ones can stay for me. Atton is... yeah, we'll give him something that improves his stealth. Actually, no, we'll stick with... no, we'll just stick with that. And we'll give him another shield. Right, let's see what's going on here. Well, that's grim.
No, look, you can't keep us trapped in the refugee sector. We can't survive there. You've got us locked in.
I love that the Weequays or Weequays are actually showing up in this game, because you didn't see them particularly in the first KotOR, and here they're actually showing up. Trandoshans we've seen before though, so nothing new there. What am I looking at? And I'm just going to... Well, the third option is the dark-sided option. What's going on here? I'm a little bit concerned about these puddles, to be honest. Exchange business? That's why I'm here. I won't let you hurt that man. Stand away from him. Yeah, I could have been a bit more dark-sided with that, but whatever. We get light side points.
Let's settle this.
And now we can kill these guys. Well, they were easy enough to deal with. Pick up their remains. Apparently they don't have many credits. And yeah, this puddle here does not look very nice. Now let's talk to this man we just saved.
Thanks for your help. They would have crippled me for sure.
I couldn't stand by and let them hurt you. Why were they hunting you?
Well, they work for the Exchange, for a Quarren named Visquis. He's looking to step up in the Exchange. The only language the Exchange respects is money, so Visquis is trying to increase his profits by using the refugees here in Nar Shaddaa as a cheap labor force. We're only good to him as slaves and merchandise. He wants to keep us in one place, so he can control us. That's always been the way. Well, except lately.
What do you mean?
The Exchange has been clamping down on the refugee sector hard, and I've no idea why. They've started kidnapping people, hurting others, but there seems to be no reason to it.
This voice actor does not match this generic NPC head, I'm sorry. Where can I find Visquis?
You don't. He comes to you. If he's got reason to. Either because you can help him out, or because you're making trouble. Either way, it's not a good thing.
Yeah, this guy's voice sounds way too young for how he looks. I was glad to help. You better head out before you run into any more trouble.
Whatever your reasons, thanks.
Yay, more light side points. I would argue it's actually much easier to get light side points in this game than it is in the first one. But anyway, let's move on.
Spare a few credits, friend?
I can, in exchange for some information. Gotta make you earn it.
Alright. I don't know much beyond the refugee sector here, but I can share what I know.
I've heard your voice before somewhere. You sound like the fake Batu Rem. His voice gets around in this game. Tell me about the refugee sector.
This sector's filled with refugees from the Jedi Civil War, and even as far back as the Mandalorian Wars. Refugees and war veterans both, and anyone else who was rendered homeless by the war. The Jedi destroyed planets across the galaxy, and here's where the wreckage ended up.
Interesting that he thinks the Jedi did it. The Sith did it, not the Jedi.
That's two names for one thing. It's difficult to tell in the crossfire, and the Sith were led by Jedi. In the end, it didn't make much difference.
I agree with that. Why are the refugees here?
A lot of space lanes cross at Nar Shaddaa, and once here, it's hard to move on. Even fighter pilots from the war can't get work at the docks. The freighter crews are full up. There's no work here and no way out, unless you want to become a hired muscle for the Exchange, or work in a Hutt slave camp.
Do you know someone named Zez Kayal?
No, should I? He doesn't sound like a Hutt. What, is he a bounty hunter or an Exchange boss?
He's a Jedi Master with a 70s style moustache.
Jedi Master? There aren't any Jedi Masters in the galaxy, let alone on Nar Shaddaa. This place is a cesspit, with the Exchange and the Hutts stabbing their claws into everything. But you know, I did hear something about a bounty on Jedi, though. Something the Exchange posted. Doesn't matter, though. Aren't any more Jedi around, so no one's going to be collecting that bounty.
I wonder, if they posted that, do you think it had like loads of retweets and stuff? What can you tell me about the bounty on Jedi?
Not much to say, except it's a high price. You need to find a bounty hunter to get more, and they've been pretty scarce lately. You might have more luck trying to find someone connected to the exchange. And I don't mean some spaceport muscle, I mean someone connected.
Any idea why they posted a bounty on Jedi?
No idea. Could be one of them crossed the exchange, and they're looking for revenge on all of them.
Where would I find someone connected to the exchange?
Well, they tend to lay low. To be honest, it's like with bounty hunters. You may need to do something to get their attention.
I suppose if I just stand out in the middle of a public venue and just go, "Oi, I want to speak to the exchange," loads of times they'll come to me. I'll be going now.
Friend, you did promise some credits in exchange for information.
Oh, did I not give it to you? I love how you can basically say, "Nope." Wow. Here's 5 credits, you've done me proud.
Look, one other thing. It's obvious you're new around here. I can tell it just by looking at you. Nar Shaddaa can be a rough place, and easy to get lost in. If you want, I can keep an ear out for you. Let you know if I hear anything.
And what do you get out of it?
Life's been better, and every credit can go a long way. Just think it over.
Okay, so that's good enough. Now, this next person over here, we always talk to this guy regardless of whether we want to or not. And it leads to one of the more controversial parts of this game because it's a Kreia philosophy discussion. And regardless of the choices you make with this refugee here, she's never happy with whatever you pick. And I'll probably show off both instances of that conversation, but the first one is going to be the one I pick because it's the one I prefer. So let's see.
I saw what you did to those exchange thugs, stranger. Can you spare a few credits, maybe help another refugee in need?
Refugees in need. That sounds like a pretty good charity. Of course. Here, take 5 credits.
Thank you, stranger. I won't forget your kindness.
Bye.
Why did you do such a thing? Such kindnesses will mean nothing. His path is set. Giving him what he has not earned is like pouring sand into his hands.
This is less creepy when Kreia's actually with you. For some reason, if she's not in your party, she's always somewhere else on Nar Shaddaa telling you this. It's very odd. I think that's just engine limitations, though. So here we get a bit of a debate with Kreia, and you get the same... Well, you get a similar debate if you tell the guy, no, go away. Nothing is set. As long as there is hope, there is the chance for redemption every day.
And would that be a kindness? What if by surviving another day he brings a greater darkness upon another?
Actually, that does look like the Ebon Hawk now I'm looking at it. It's just got a weird texture to it. You cannot know that.
The Force binds all things. The slightest push, the smallest touch, sends echoes throughout life. Even an act of kindness may have more severe repercussions than you know or can see. By giving him something he has not earned, perhaps all you have helped him become is a target. Seeing another elevated often brings the eyes of others who suffer. And perhaps in the end, all you have wrought is more pain.
The animations are so awkward here.
To you. Be careful of charity and kindness, lest you do more harm with open hands than with a clenched fist.
Now, as much as I'd love to say I disagree with that entirely, even though there is some logic behind it depending on who we're talking about, I'm going to say what Kreia wants to hear. There is wisdom in what you say. Perhaps I shall not be so quick to offer aid in the future.
Good. Mind what I have said. Use your power, but in its proper place.
And we didn't even gain influence with her. Great. Maybe that occurs if she's with me, I don't know.
I saw what you did to those exchange thugs, stranger. Can you spare a few credits, maybe help another refugee in need?
Now, for the dark-sided version, and I've actually got Kreia with me this time to save any weird vision things going on. I have nothing for you. Get out of my way.
Forgive me, stranger, but if you had some credits you could spare, it would be a great help. Please.
Get out of here before I kill you.
Forgive me, stranger, please. I beg you, do not kill me.
I overreacted.
Why did you do such a thing? Giving in to your feelings over such a small matter, they would be better served elsewhere.
And yeah, here we go. These are the more dark-sided options. These small acts of cruelty bore me. To take money from others, to insult them, to threaten their lives. Is that a commentary on how dark-sided options in the first KotOR were written?
And what would you rather do?
It is difficult to exercise my power when life's obstacles are as insignificant as this.
The Force binds all things. The smallest push, the smallest touch, sends echoes throughout life. These acts of cruelty may have more severe repercussions than you know, or can see.
Your nonsense is starting to bore me.
Indeed. Listen. Feel the echo. Cruelty leads to suffering. And when one suffers, it is the way of life to spread suffering. The suffering within builds until its sound is all one hears, and when a kindness is offered, it is punished. And a greater darkness is served.
That's the guy who knocked him out last time.
From one act can come tremendous power when the echo has travelled as far as it can. Send a great echo, and power will come to you. The day shall come when you can test your strength, I promise you.
And we gain dark side points for that. But there you go, that's the alternative version. So as you can see, Kreia is not happy with you regardless of whatever option you pick there. But she gives you a little bit of a life lesson to consider with both options. And they're quite interesting to listen to, even if you don't necessarily agree with either. But anyway, back to the main game. Anyway, let's head into this root garage, turn the corner.
And what did he want?
Just answers to some questions. Asked about a Jedi Master of all things.
Really? Interesting.
And if we go back outside, oh look, nobody's there. So again, a little bit of foreshadowing for how this planet's going to go down. Let's steal something while I'm here. Now, the reason I brought KotOR with me is actually for this part here. And here's the ringtone droid. I always call it the ringtone droid because that's what it sounds like to me. 30-second model. "31 models, bloody hell. Maybe he should just stop getting droids. Explosive ends. Oh god, this does actually hurt your ears with headphones on. I'm looking to buy some equipment. You can assist me by getting out of the way, bloody hell. I'll be going now. I'm not going to be that rude to him. Actually, I probably should have brought T3 or HK with me here, because maybe they have a conversation with him. I might try that after I've talked to TN here. That is oddly precise. Or just blindness, or short-sightedness.
Tien, it's KotOR, 12th Engineering Division, out of Eodoria. I worked with you in the hangar bays on the Solemn Oath.
That's normally how it goes with people who have poor vision. They normally have really good hearing. At least based on what I've been told.
Tien, we are already in trouble. In some ways, the war is not yet over, and our enemies seek us even now.
It wasn't using it against you, it was just pointing it out. Are you alright?
Sullistan's hearing's pretty sharp, if you couldn't guess from the lobes.
I came here to do business. Depends. What is this place?
Big Ears here might know someone who can change the Ebon Hawk's ID signature. Could be useful for avoiding notice.
Yeah, Atton, please don't be disrespectful to random strangers. That's not even a compliment. Oh, whatever. Any parts or equipment I could buy? And there's nothing I really want. I mean, that might be useful, potentially, but I think for now that's all good. Let's talk to you again. Can you change a ship's ID transponder codes? I can pay you for your time. Okay, I'll be going now. So that will give us a new quest, which we can't do immediately, but we will eventually. We basically need to find a transponder card and then give it to him, which will happen in time. And then that's just a update on what happened when we landed. Oh, that Quello guy. If you tell him that, you know, if you say you landed here because the Hutts allowed you to, or anything to do with the Star Wars Mafia, that side of things, then he just lets you land there. Ooh, did I have that blaster before? That's not bad, actually. I might use that. It does less damage, but it actually has more stuff for it. So yeah, good, we'll use that. And let me just switch out Beodor and Atton temporarily with HK and T3. And whilst we're here, HK needs a weapon. Now, one of the reasons why I downloaded the Dual 2 weapon mod was so I could make HK-47 look absolutely ridiculous like this. And you just triggered randomly, despite how I barely moved. And your pathfinding's got a bit confused. What happened to him? And now this droid's given me the Axel F of the Star Wars universe. What would you like me to do? And now he's suddenly become a DJ scratching post. Plans? What plans? There's a lot of variety in the voice acting for this droid. I say voice acting, but noises. They aren't dangerous, are they? If I can get a free version of that part once it's built, then I'll do it. I'm not doing it for free, you know. What does the droid look like? Oh, good thing I had T3 with me then. Whoa, just because I removed one skin mod from him. Where can I find coding? Fine, thank you very much. Now, HK, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, one of the reasons why I downloaded a mod that let me equip two, weapons that needed two hands to hold as two separate weapons was so I could make HK-47 more of an actual compelling assassin droid. And I like the idea of HK looking absolutely ridiculous with two blaster rifles. And that's why. Not for any other reason, just for HK-47. So that mod is dedicated to him. And yes, I know he's only level 6, but I'm not going to level him up just yet, because I want Atton and Beodor back. And Atton's level up I'm still going to ignore. Oh, before I go actually, I should show off the view of Nar Shaddaa from here. There's the Ebon Hawk, looking beautiful as ever, and then there's Nar Shaddaa in all its modded glory. Absolutely fantastic. The beautiful stench of decay and desperation has never looked any better. Was it the beautiful stench of decay and desperation, or was it the beautiful stench of decay and something else? I honestly can't remember. But let's go. Let's explore Nar Shaddaa finally, because we've been establishing ourselves here for long enough. Beodor seems to have gotten stuck. Where are you, dude? Oh, yep, you're stuck on the wall. Great. Let's go then. And yeah, the mods made this look a bit different, so I think Krea's going to talk to us, and there's the droid we need to try and rescue later. Is Krea going to interrupt us? Apparently not. Oh, one of my favourite discussions is going to take place here though, and I'm just going to make a save because I think I can maximise a few influence opportunities here. Let's talk to these guys.
Please, look, I already paid the exchange what I have.
Ooh, my ears.
But oh, look! Here's the one with your credits. About time. Look, these gentlemen are getting impatient.
Now, regardless of what side you're playing as in this game, I always go for this one response because it's so dark and so funny every single time. Now, there's quite a lot of dialogue options that you can choose from here. Yeah, this is the option I always like to go with, regardless of whether I'm light-sided or dark-sided. You two, give me all your credits, then go jump into the central pit. It's so dark, but it's so amusing. Jumping into the pit is a good idea. Get to ground faster that way. Oh, he gained dark side points, but it was worth it. How are you doing, man?
How did you do that? Stay away from me!
What? What just happened? 1 minute we're just talking and then I just lost control.
That doesn't make sense, Atton. We didn't actually kill him. I think the scripting was a bit off here when Obsidian were coding this. Are you alright?
It's like this impulse just came over me. I couldn't stop myself. Next time, warn me. If you're out to kill someone, don't surprise me like that.
But we gained influence with Atton, so it's all good. Because Atton, as I've said before, is the easiest character to gain influence with. Yeah, that option makes me laugh every single time. I'm pretty sure it usually gets, or it has had, there has been occasions where it's got you influence with Beodor as well. And this place is another weird side-on thing. I don't normally do this, but let's just talk to him. You the owner of this establishment? I'm here to race. Is he okay? I'd like to place a bet. I don't think I've ever done this before. Never mind. We'll just leave him over there, and this guy is unconscious. Can we still talk to you? Yeah, fine. We'll deal with you later, because this is a side questy thing, and I don't think it's completely developed well. I don't think it's developed that well, but it's there. Now, where am I going to go from here? I'm sure Krea's meant to kick in with a vision or something around about here, but I could be wrong.
Your thoughts are disturbed.
There we go.
I can feel them from a great distance, like a shiver running through you.
Game? What just happened there? I feel this background noise, like a vibration.
It is Nar Shaddaa, the true Nar Shaddaa that you feel around you. It is this moon, with the metal and machines stripped away and the currents of the Force laid bare.
The sound. The vibration is strange. Tense.
I'm surprised you can feel it. I fear the damage to you had deadened you to such perceptions. What you feel is the echo of the minds of these creatures within the Force. Their anger, their greed, their desperation. It is life.
But the anger and desperation, is there some way to heal it?
One might as well heal the universe, but such manipulation is possible, yes. It requires that one be able to feel the critical point within the fractured mass, and know how to strike it in such a way that the echoes travel to your intended destination.
Then control over such a large scale is possible.
Not in the sense you understand it. The ability to fool the minds of others, to dominate them on a massive scale that you speak of, is not achieved best through raw power. Manipulation is done through propelling events, or selected ones, into motion. It is done through teaching, through example, and through conviction. And the greatest of victories are not manipulations at all, but simply awakening others to the truth of what you believe, of hearing it echoed around you in life. But let us be silent. Words and thoughts are distractions. Feel this moment, for as long as it will last. Feel life as it is, with the crude matter stripped away.
And once again, the game is confused with what it's doing with Kreia, because she was fighting a random NPC for some reason, but we got our maximum force points increased, so that's good. And I'm going to switch party members, so KotOR, you're getting kicked out for a bit. And we're replacing KotOR with the Handmaiden, because what I want to do first of all is level her up, so she's getting her first Jedi level up here. And we're going to give her, as you can see, she's now got Jedi feats, lovely. So we're going to make her awesome in that regard. So she needs Force Heal and she needs Burst of Speed. And that will do. There's no lightsaber I can give her, unfortunately, but I can give her this. A really awesome blade that she uses. Again, the mod I've got installed does make her hold it very weirdly, but it works. There's one more conversation I want to have here, and I usually like to have the Handmaiden with me for this. I don't think KotOR offers anything particularly here. And it's this guy here, and he's quite interesting based on his backstory. Have a listen.
Hey, I saw that ship you flew in on. My ship.
Your ship? I'd lay off the spice if I were you. That's our ship, not yours.
Was I talking to you? I tell you, that ship's mine.
What makes you think the ship's yours?
It's the Ebon Hawk, isn't it? She was stolen from me during a routine run in the Mid-Rim, near the close of the Mandalorian Wars.
No, I like the various ways you can handle this, because there's nothing to say that he actually owned it, but I think he did, based on what the game tells us. If you couldn't hold on to it, then you didn't deserve it.
So, you admit it's not yours. How did you come by it anyway? Who did you buy it from?
If you can prove the ship is yours, I'll give it back to you.
The registry's 34P7JK. It's got a temperamental hyperdrive, and the turrets can be sluggish and unresponsive against fast-moving fighters. She's also got 2 secret compartments, one in the cargo hold, right near the plasteel cylinders in the back, and the second beneath the bunks in the starboard cabin.
That's right, but I didn't know about the cargo hatch, and you're right, the turrets are definitely sluggish.
Whoa, he could have gotten that information some other way than owning the ship. Come on, he's skifting us.
So, you gonna hand it over now, or are you going to be difficult?
Is requesting to buy it from you being difficult?
No deal. A ship's worth its weight in spice on Nar Shaddaa, and nothing's worth being trapped here another year scrounging freight jobs.
If the ship is yours, I will return it to you.
What? It's our ship. I mean, your ship, that I fly.
Good to hear you aren't going to challenge it. That makes things a lot easier.
Are you sure you wish to do this? If so, we will be forced to remain on this moon until we can hire transport out.
What are you doing? That's gonna trap us here.
Oh, don't worry. Flying the Ebon Hawk is like painting a target on your forehead. I'm not doing him any favours.
I'll be going now. Get used to the solid ground beneath you.
Let me shoot him in the back. No one has to know.
Atton, restrain yourself. Besides, a blaster would be unnecessary, when a nerve strike to his neck would incapacitate him painfully without inflicting any lasting harm.
Point taken.
That's why I have the handmaiden with me for that conversation. But yeah, I pick options there that I would never say in real life. Like, I wouldn't be that agreeable to just giving away my ship if I were in the same position. But there we go, that's the first part of Nar Shaddaa done. We've established ourselves here, and yeah, we'll leave it there for now. I know I could talk to Code in here with the astromech droid, but I'm going to leave that for next time. That's the first thing I'm going to do in the next part. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.